Hi everybody, myself Murugan. I'm a SEBI registered investment analyst. I'm really excited to develop this particular video because this video talks about a very interesting tool which is really useful for intraday traders. So yes, this is a best ever intraday trading tool we come across because we're gonna talk something about 3 interesting ways to spot intraday sentiment. In fact, it can be done under 60 seconds. And this is not just about explaining the tool alone. In fact, we're going to explain how we can make use of it and how can I identify stocks precisely for intraday trading. Because I'm sure you probably use dozens of intraday tools every day. We might have tried different techniques, different filters, scanners. But I'm sure this video explains the smartest way to find the intraday stocks. Okay, this is again a traditional way to approach intraday trading, but with modern infrastructure to evaluate trading opportunities. So why this particular video at this moment? Because we feel it is not just another intraday tool, because a multi-dimension charting, these things are not affordable to a retail segment. So we have something which is extremely simple and incredible too. So we thought, why not we can come up and develop something wherein people can make use of it, because these tools are already there in our website, but people still find it very difficult to understand it. So the charts like a bubble charts, and there are various ways by which we can understand the sector performance, and we can also get the intraday history of the sector performance and where the volume is happening and how the stocks are distributed. So there are so many things we can actually look at. So we're going to explain all these things using this particular video, and I'm sure you will find it very interesting. So we need some basic infrastructure to crunch a lot of data when it comes to intraday trading, to take some meaningful information at a limited time. So how can I do it? So we thought let's develop an educational, kind of an informative tool which benefits almost any intraday trader who is serious about doing analysis before trading. Yeah. So let me give you about a summary of this particular trading. Number 1, how to gauge the market sentiment. So how do I understand the market sentiment and why we need a market sentiment? Probably in about next few minutes I'll explain why it is important for intraday trading. Okay. Then having identified the overall market sentiment, how do I understand the sector performance and which sector drives at this moment when it comes to intraday trading, and how can I spot it precisely in a short span of time? Okay, how do I find the stock when it comes to intraday trading? So we're going to talk about these things throughout this particular video, and I'm going to use some tools which may look so complicated, but using this particular video, you can understand it better. Sometimes a very complicated tools helps you to identify a simple stock. So I request you people to just watch this video with a lot of patience. About this tool, I'll tell you one thing, there is not about a lot of data, rather it is a graphical representation. I hope you and me as a technician in the market, we are not that comfortable with data tables. We are very much comfortable with charting platform. So how do I use not the traditional charting platform of line charts, bar charts or candlestick? This is a multi-dimensional charting platform which helps us to spot intraday trading sentiment. And by the way, it helps us to spot the intraday market sentiment, and most interestingly, at no cost, even a retail trader can trade like a pro using this. So I'm sure you as a trader will find some difference having used to this particular tool over a period of time. You can see some serious improvement in terms of your stock selection, in terms of your trading, in terms of your journey towards your trading. Okay, let's move forward. Okay, why we are doing all these things? As usual, we are someone who believe the growth is inclusive with a lot of other people's support. So we educate, equip, empower you to become a successful trader. Okay, so trade with knowledge and discipline. As usual, if you don't understand the meaning of knowledge and discipline, there is no point in actually watching this video, and you will not be able to make money here. Okay, so what is intraday analysis? Okay, before I touch upon this tool, because a lot of times when it comes to even our previous videos, people see a lot of videos and they start trading, but they don't have adequate basics. So this video, we thought, why not we can give some basic idea about intraday trading. See, intraday move is generally driven by market sentiment. Okay, it's not by earning ability of the company. Sometimes you see the company is not exceptionally doing well, but still in a single day the stock gains 6%, 7%, 3%. Let's say if anything happens to the global markets or the market-wide sentiment got collapsed, for no matter you see many stocks falls, doesn't mean their earnings have some problem. So intraday move generally driven by the sentiment. So to understand the market sentiment, so we have to follow a kind of top-down approach. So hence it is extremely important to understand the prevailing market sentiment. So how do I do it? So we need to first track the market. That's the very first thing I have to do. And then we have to go by understanding the market sector, the sector which is actually driven by the sentiment. There are various parameters we have to see. And then finally we have to see the stock which is driven out of, which moves in line with the market sentiment. So what are the parameters are actually considered to understand the market sentiment? So how are we going to do it? How objectively are you going to do it? So to derive sentiment, okay, there is something called price, which the only information we get it from the market. And interestingly, advance and decline from yesterday close to the current, this gives me the prevailing note of the market. So you might have heard of these things. But a trading volume that shows the presence of traders, the kind of active participation happening. An intraday movement, is the stock is really approaching towards the high or is it really approaching towards the low? So we're going to use these things to arrive the prevailing market sentiment. And this, we are not going to use a lot of data and we're going to not show a lot of formulas. We make it as simple charting platform. You can quickly identify. I still recollect that you can do it in under 60 seconds. Just I request you to watch this complete video in a kind of move. So it is again an educational video. Why this video? Once again, okay, this educational video is to explain the ways to use the new tool to spot the profitable stocks. So we believe some basic knowledge is required to understand the benefits of its the exceptionally very good intraday tool. So watch this video carefully till the end. So it's time to actually visit EQSIS.com, where you can actually find this particular tool which we have recently launched on our website, and it is absolutely free for any retail trader. But I request you people to use this tool with own risk and understand it better, try many times, and if it is giving you some good results, try to take it forward. Okay, now it's time to go to the website. Okay, now I'll just go to the website here, which is www.eqsis.com. So I think many of you people must be familiar with this, and a lot of you people may be using a lot of screeners and tools. So if you really want to understand how to use the remaining tools, it's better you can actually go to our YouTube channel and browse these videos and you can understand it better. So but yeah, this particular video is all about explaining this section. Under intraday analysis, we have two parts now. One is about the stock scanner. The other one is about the sentiment tracker, because we still believe sentiment drives the market. So we thought, why not we can quantify the sentiment? Why not we can make it so approachable to many people to understand it? So we thought there is a one main menu, which is sentiment tracker, under which a stock analysis, sector analysis, market analysis. So I'm just going to open everything in the new tab. So I did this before. So I got the first tab, which is about the market analysis. This is nothing but this particular one, market analysis. Okay, and then we got something called, this is also about the kind of market one. So this is nothing but having clicked this particular link, I got it. So the sector-wise performance is nothing but the sector analysis here. So this is a sector analysis, and we have a fourth tab, which is nothing about, don't get excited about the charts, different types of charts here. I'll explain everything. This is about stock analysis. Okay. I request once again, you really need a lot of patience to understand it. And by any chance, if you miss any content, it's not that easy for people to listen things in one shot. So don't hesitate to rewind things and keep seeing this, in what context I'm explaining it. And if you find it interesting, you can actually make your comments at the below section. And if you have any doubts also, I request you to post it in the comment section, so I see how I can respond it to you, so that you find the complete benefit of this particular video. Okay, now let's move on from here. We have something called stock market analysis. Okay, now how do I understand the market sentiment? How do I go about intraday trading? So intraday trading carries a lot of risk, but we have to be sure how to manage it effectively, because every trade is actually different. Every trade is actually different, but the risk should be consistent. We should know how to make this risk consistent so that we can retain the profit. So there are a lot more things can be done after selecting the stock. But this is more about how do I understand sentiment, how do I select the stock. Okay. To understand the market sentiment, we have come across with the very first charting one. Look, this is not the Nifty reading. Okay, this is not the Sensex reading. Okay, we took about our proprietary way of getting about some X amount of stocks, and we did calculate a kind of a weightage, and we see the price behavior, and we come out with something. By looking at this screen at this moment, I see the market was positive, and now it is coming down. In an early morning, if I'm looking at this charts, I may get a few datas. So as long as I see this move is above the previous top, as I see it is heading higher levels, higher levels, higher levels, as it managed to retain the bottoms, I still feel the sentiment is good. But this is calculated by looking at the price performance. The sentiment is arrived by looking at the price performance of various stocks. Okay, but this is not the only way by which we look at the sentiment. So if you scroll down, you find the next section of this chart. This gives you again an interesting thing, because it gives you the advanced decline ratios. So this is a very often intraday traders come across, but we always get how many stocks are advancing for the declining stock, but we don't get the track that how this things are moving as an intraday history, because around in the morning I see about 67 stocks were advancing. Sometime later it was about 78 stocks were advancing, and there was about 63 stocks advancing. At this moment it is only about 64 stocks were advancing. Okay, it's not about 60 or 40, it's not about 70 or 30. I'll tell you one thing, how the progress is helps me to understand the change in sentiment. So I'm still feel, but this particular thing can help us to understand how the sentiment is progressing over a period of time, and this is specifically about intraday trade. And I request you one thing, do not compare yesterday's charts a day before the day charts for intraday trading, because it's two different things. Yesterday's sentiment is driven by some other factor, today's sentiments are driven by some other factor. The one which is a prevailing matters to me as an intraday trader. And by the way, look, there is an options by which you can look at. So I'm just clicking on this so you understand the advances and declines. So if I want to just look at the decline, see, look at the declines. The declines are not breaking the bottoms, it's just mapping it. Same as advance. So the kind of divergence we get it. Sometimes the price may take a tops and manage to keep the bottoms, but the advance and decline may not show that strength. And sometimes look at this. We see the last half an hour of the day today crashed a bit, but I don't see a major difference. Yeah, there is in fact the advance and decline ratio got converged during the bit. So sometime it can be complementary, sometime it can act as a divergence. So by looking at the price and advance and decline ratio, to an extent we can also say that how it is actually performing. And if you move down a bit, this is again interesting one. Look, this is something which is what I'm about to talk now, which is about volume analysis. Okay, now there are lots of counter about to move up and it is busy moving down. There are some companies which are moving up but trading with limited quantities. There are companies which are moving down is trading with a lot of volumes. So I wanted to know that the volumes are happening with the positive companies or negative company. And this is not based on quantity basis, it is based on the turnover basis. So the turnover were more in the positive side companies or negative side companies. By doing a kind of analysis, we are arriving that this is something which is now today, it's a kind of more about neutral state. But look, when it comes to the price, it managed to show a good show during this point of time, but still the sentiment was not that great by looking at the volume. Sometimes you see even the volume is also breaking above the previous top and it is moving forward along with the price and advance and decline ratio. That gives me a kind of handshake with all other indicators. That gives me a confidence to say that the things are very positive. So sometimes volume says something differently when compared to the price. So for that you can use this particular thing. And if you scroll down, you again get the advance and decline volume, because a very few sites you can actually find the positive volume versus negative volume. Positive volume doesn't mean it's a buyer volume. Let me tell you once again, the companies which are moving positively gets this much of volume versus the companies which are moving negatively. So over a period of time, this tends to move up, no doubt about it. So because as every minute we get a lot of trade happening, but if a lot of trade is happening towards a positive company, then this blue line tends to move much faster when compared to the declines. Now look at this, how the declining things were. Sometimes volume tend to go down because the number of companies at the negative sides are actually less now when compared to in the morning. And the company which become positive has made this positive volume company much aggressive. So I hope by comparing this, you can get an idea how the sentiment is prevailing in the market. And a final thing is actually about the intraday history. Okay, Murugan, what is about this intraday history, about the market strength? So, okay, the first thing about the price performance, the very first chart which I've shown at the top of the page is actually from yesterday closing price and today's price. But that number is known to many traders. So psychologically, it is very important to track. But this is something which gives me the intraday behavior. Okay, how many stocks were advancing towards the high and where the stocks were positioned? Is it placed nearby the high? Is it placed nearby the low? Okay, now look at this now. Even again, as if like volume, you see this area is not taken out the previous top significantly, but the prices were doing really well, but there are not many stocks were actually advancing towards high when compared to this. So we really want to know whether the stocks were placed nearer to the high or the stocks were placed nearer to the low. There are hundreds of stocks, thousands of stocks. Okay, out of 100 stocks, if there are 70 stocks traded nearer to the high and very few stocks traded nearer to the low, and this thing's getting better. So by reading this particular page, I am sure you can understand the overall market sentiment. That's particular one. Okay, having understood, so if you are very clear that the market is positive, you can take your next step. Otherwise, don't do that. It's better you can wind up your work from here and you can take some rest and you can come back to the market after half an hour or 1 hour and you see the behavior. It's better you can do it after lunch or after the European market opens. But there is no urge to trade immediately. If you get a clear conviction, there is no divergence, things are moving along, the trends are very positive or the trends are very negative, then by keeping that in your mind, you can go to the next particular thing, which is called a sector-wise performance. But I give you one more thing, which is again very interesting for you people to track the market sentiment. I'll tell you what it is. Okay, let's say there are about, we have taken about 100 or about 100 odd stocks for this particular sample. Let's say about 100 odd stocks, how many stocks are actually gaining significantly, which is maybe around more than 4-5%, or anybody gaining just about a 2-3-4% comes under a different level, or anybody who's just falling between plus or minus 0.5 or 1% is a kind of neutral behavior. If anybody is falling more than 2-3%, it's a kind of very negative behavior, and if it is falling more than a 5%, it's unusual loss. So that is what actually precisely stated here. So this particular thing is nothing but the distribution of stocks. So I am just explaining about the first row here. Murugan, why this color and what exactly it is? Okay, it looks different, but very easy for us to understand market sentiment. Okay, the yellow mark is nothing but the neutral. So the keys are given you at the bottom, and you can these keys can be operatable. So you can use these keys to filter the charts also. Okay, now I'll make it present everything. Now look at this. This was the morning scenario. Now as it getting more data into the flow, and I got this much of data. The morning scenario was more in terms of neutral, but in fact it is a kind of positive because there are a lot of blue. In fact, green is nothing but unusual gains, but there are negative things also. But you can see clearly as a day progressed, the blues were getting more when compared to the reds were not losing. In fact, the red managed to sustain the area. But the neutrals are getting positive. That's not a big sign. I really want a red should lose to neutral and neutral should lose to the blue for the very positive thing. So the morning scenario was more about a kind of neutral to positive dicey scenario. But as it getting older over a period of time, I hope you can see there's no point of time, but the very positive side has now got a bit better. Okay, when compared to this one. But look at this, when it compared to the morning scenario, the evening scenario was again towards the negative end. But I see today market was about 80 points positive. In fact, 80-90 points positive. At one point of time, it was 100 point positive. But look at this, right from morning till evening, I've not seen the company which were moving down has never given its space. it means you cannot take this market very positive. Sometime you can see it was more in the morning. As the day progresses, it gets reduced. Likewise, sometimes the blue gets reduced. So that is sometime. It's not like the positive companies are moving forward. If the negative companies are getting lower, 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 and positive companies are moving upside, then you can easily see there is a change in trend. I think it's a graphical way to understand. This was the 1, 2, 3 is a morning scenario, 14, 15 is maybe the noon and evening, and this is the closing scenario. So maybe if you're looking at tomorrow by opening the stocks, you may get 2 or 3. But as the day progresses, you get 1, 1, 1 gets updated. So this is a way, a proprietary way we have something to understand the market sentiment. Okay, this is again, and these sort of things are available with expensive platform, but now we thought we anyway using it for us, so for our convenience we have developed it. So if you find it interesting, you can also use it. Okay, now, so by using the first 2 tabs, okay, we somehow identified the market sentiment. But now I just wanted to know how can I actually go about with respect to sector. But if you really ask me, Murugan, what exactly you identified using this last 2 tabs? In fact, it is more about neutral. Today's sentiment is a kind of neutral, so that's why I'm not able to take a clear stance where the market is positive or negative. Okay, let's understand how if it is a neutral, generally it is dicey, it is better not to proceed further, but just to explain this particular video, I'm actually taking it 1 step forward. Okay, now look at this. There is a sector-wise analysis. Now we need to understand how and which particular sector is performing. I think through one shot, this first quadrant helps you to understand bank is performing well today. Bank is performing, and this is now. Okay, I don't know what happened in the morning, what happened in the noon, but I just wanted to know now who is performing really well is actually the bank. The one which is not performing is actually the pharma, because it is actually moving down. It's actually the biller. The second performing one is the telecommunication, and media and telecommunications is doing really well. Okay, let me see how it is. Okay, I just wanted to know, there is a lot of filters here. I hope you can see as I'm just hiding this. So you can compare the sectors move. Now look at this, the infrastructure is busy in moving down. But let me see, the infrastructure is not that negative when compared to pharma. So let me see how is the pharma is doing when compared to this. But look at this, the pharma become negative just some time back, because I hope you can see this about last maybe about a half an hour to 1 hour it was crashed a bit. But if you look at the infrastructure, although it is just negative, it was consistent in moving down. So for any intraday trader, the consistency matters, not the unusual behavior. So the pharma is not that reliable. I'm sure it is losing a bit now, serious amount of loss is happening. But the one which is really moving down in the rise fashion is actually infra. Every time it tends to approach the bottom, keep moving down, keep moving down. Any stock is busy in making new bottoms or a tops or a good to buy or a sell. Because if it is keep on moving down, let's make a short and make some money about it. If it is busy moving up, don't go against the market and make it. But now I'm just looking at the sector. So you can actually compare, like, how the banking is doing when compared to this infrastructure. Okay, now banking did a really good job at the early time, but not much after. But still it was more of busy in terms of moving forward. I still... See, look at automobiles, it's a flat. Today I don't want to trade in automobiles. Okay, consumer goods are flat. Okay, telecommunication again a flat. Okay, FMCG is not big deal. Okay, IT is again not a big deal. Okay, energy is not a big deal. Okay, now look at this. Again, I'm not, this is a typical flat. FMCG is not a big deal. Metal was a good choice for me as it was moving up, so it's lost a bit here. So this is something to understand how the sectors were performing, and there is a comparison with the other one. So if you scroll down, you see one another thing, which is again the sector-wise analysis. Murugan, we just completed sector-wise analysis here. It's about price. And again here, it's about advance and decline ratio. Sometime back through market, about thousands of stocks, how many stocks were moving up and down. But here, it is about that particular sector, how many stocks were advancing and how many stocks were declining, and how the advance and decline ratio progressing over a period of time. In the morning it was 100% advancing, now it is only about 70% advancing. So that historical data is available here, but this particular thing is about advances and declines here. So I can see, compare the advances and decline, I can see about NBFCs got even an equal amount of selling, and this pharma is having more declines. And the kind of mixed view is what I'm getting here. So this itself shows the market is not very clear in terms of moving. But don't get excited. Today we got 80 points. I missed this stock is moving up. And if you got sentiment clear, I think it's better we move forward. So if I scroll down again, okay, this is key. Let me tell you one thing again, this is key. Because sometimes we see at the early trades in the beginning, we can really understand where the stock traders are hiding. Are they trading in the pharmaceutical stocks or banking stocks? Because generally, top traders go by the sectors, not just about the stock. So if they go by the metals, then you might have seen many times the metal perform, not just about one stock perform. So we wanted to know that the trading volume is more in which particular sector. In one shot, I can say now this is one of the highest, which is bank, and next highest is energy. Sorry, not the energy, which is NBFCs and media telecom. But I wanted to know how the sector, how this, the volume progressed over a period of time. So this, what is this is all about? Is this sector over a period of time gaining more volume share, or is it losing its volume share? Okay, if you look at the consumer volume, consumer goods was actually losing its. So during this point of time, I'm not happy to trade with respect to consumer goods because it is losing its volume to something else. In the today morning, when compared to about the volume scenario with other sector, now a lot of people are busy in trading other sector, not with consumer. So this may have a lackluster behavior, not this a concrete view. It's better not to trade here. So, but no, I just wanted to know who is actually gaining momentum. Okay, now banking did well, but managed to retain the position at the top. But who is gaining it consistently? I want to know. Not automobiles. No, energy was not much. Not even metal. Okay, now someone is here. Okay, look at the NBFC. When it comes to the evening session today, 2:30 to 3, maybe 3:30. The good sector to trade for me is NBFC because this guy is consistently gaining volume. Doesn't mean it is a good stock to buy or sell. But anything we spot, let's say if a stock is breaking high, when it comes to and that stock is actually from NBFC, I rely on that particular one because now it is breaking high with a lot of more volumes happening in this sector. So that's pretty much interesting. Are you with me? Yeah. Let's move down here. Okay, now again, when it comes to automobiles, how many stocks were actually at the red side and how many stocks are actually at the blue side? So I can still see that, the one which is highly positive is the metal because it got close to, 57% positives oriented. So what I can do is I can actually filter these things, like, you can take out all these things. And you can see when it comes to very negative, we got consumer stock, one is very negative. When it comes to negative and very negative, infra is losing the ground. So if I make out all these things out, and if I make it neutral, the IT, pharma, automobile is a kind of a neutral behavior using this particular one. So we got a positive stocks like metal, FMCG, banking. Okay, Murugan, sometime back you said under 60 seconds we can do something. No. To learn this, it may take some time. So I am explaining this video is to understand how to see multi-dimensional charts, which are not familiar to many people. But the moment you used to see all these things, your eyes can do this magic because in a quick, you don't have to use a lot of data sheets. Through one shot, you can actually identify. Just by scrolling down this sheet, you can actually do it. So it may take some time for you people. So that's why I repeat, keep watching this video once, twice, thrice. Set a reminder for yourself to see this video every Monday because what happens, when you do some exercise, coming back to this video, teach you something. And again, you do some exercise for about a week's of time, look at this video, you find something. So when it comes to Monday, or let's say when it comes to Saturday evening, set a reminder, or a Sunday evening, set a reminder to watch this video, and you can share your experience of that particular video under the comment section. That helps us to optimize it better, and we can also interact it using this particular portal. So it's great if you watch this particular video till this moment. Okay, I move down here. Okay, look at this banking. So far we thought it is doing really well, but look at the banking at the last minute here, last half an hour. It was actually approaching towards the low. It was approaching towards the low. That's why this is actually moving down. The price performance is not negative. When compared to yesterday close, today's scenario was great. But when compared to today's high, now the scenario was not great. So is it comparing today's level with today's high and low with current level, or is it with yesterday close to current low? So this is about the today's move. So I am sure now banking overall did well, but the progress is not that great is what I'm actually trying to say here. Okay, so again you got a lot of filters to try out, but okay, now interesting. So that is what I say. To map the intraday sentiment, through one shot, we wanted to find which particular sector is performing. Okay, now how? From yesterday close, today it should be positive. That's one. Number two, from today's low, it should be very positive. So it should be trading nearby high. It is busy in terms of moving high. That's the strength of the day. Number three, the volume should be more in that particular sector. How can I identify all this thing through one shot? This particular charts can help you. How? It's very simple. Look at this. If I mouse over on this, banking from the closing basis did really well, because look, it's very positive, and it is closed. It is one of the top when it comes to the sentiment. This is an intraday behavior, and this is the closing behavior. And the size of the bubble indicates the volume. When compared to any other sector, I'm sure this sector got good amount of volume. And I still see this guy is negative and down, very low. Look, this guy did really well from yesterday close. Especially, this is about media, telecommunication is about Bharati Airtel. Bharati Airtel today got a good move, but not performing much when it comes to intraday move. So that's why it is actually trading at lower level. But it got a good move from the closing point. And by the way, the trading volume is also high. So the trading volume is high, so that you get to know the size of the bubble. So now look at this infra today, there's not much of trading volume. So by looking at one shot, you can do it. So if you really want to scan, I think this is, again, it is there. You can use where exactly this is spotted. So I hope you guys can use this to understand the sector-wise performance. So I'll quickly take you through once again with the stock. Okay, now if you got the market sentiment clear, and if you got the sector something which is very clear, and then it's better you look at the stock. Okay, now by looking at stock, again I get this particular doubt. Murugan, there are a lot of factors driving intraday sentiment, but how do I quickly identify it? Now let's see, we have taken a sample of 100 top traded stocks. Okay. And the three things we wanted for any intraday player to pick a stock instantly. Number one, how is the overall day sentiment? From yesterday, is it moving up or down? And today, is it busy in moving up or down? About last 5-10 minutes, is the volumes really moving up or down? See, from today, Infosys may be one of the very good company as far as the volume is concerned. But I want to know last 15-20 minutes, the volume is happening towards the positive counter or negative counter. So that I want to know. Look at this. You see a lot of bubbles here. This is nothing but the stock name. Okay, this is Shree Siemens. Okay, this is nothing but Manapuram. Okay, this is nothing but Bharati Airtel. Okay, why Bharati Airtel dot is here? Because from zero, it did really well at positively. So from yesterday close, it did really well. So it is very positive. And by the way, now it is trading almost at 62% range of the body. Like, today it was, let's say, the trading was 100 to 110. It is now trading around 106. That's a very good point. So we say that this stock is now at 60% range, and it did really well when compared to other company. But I'm sure today Bharati Airtel volume is very high when compared to any other stock. But why the volume is not, why the bubble size is not big? Because last 15-20 minutes, the volume is not that great when compared to this particular guy. D-Mart, okay, and look at this ICICI Prudential, okay, look at this Dabur, and look at this Divi's Lab. Okay, now by looking at this chart, I can say the size of the bubbles are more at the bottom section. It means now the prevailing sentiment, the market is negative. In fact, many traders about last 15-20 minutes are reacting in the negative moving company, not in the positive moving company. If at all, if they're busy in moving, let's say, Murugan, when market moving down, people are buying it, then the volume should happen at the positive companies. If that is the case, Bharati Airtel, now, let me tell you one thing, Bharati Airtel did really well today. Okay, and let me give you the date is also here. It is about 13th October 2017. You see the performance of Bharati Airtel did really well. But about last half an hour, 15-20 minutes, I'm sure when compared to other stock, the volume was not great. Because when compared to average volume, the volume was much higher when compared to the D-Mart. So D-Mart got a lot of people when compared to the other one. So this helps me to understand the market is also where the people are trading. And through look, your eyes is getting you to the right stock straight away, because you got it's about a three-dimensional factors. Am I right? You got a price, you got a intraday behavior, and you got a volume also. So we are recording all these things through one shot. It's not edited. So I still see, if you find this bit fast or anything, give us your suggestion. I can make it better. So I hope you found all these things are very interesting. So I'm sure, I hope you will also use this particular thing when it comes to trading. And a lot of people keep saying this to us, Murugan, don't change this factor, that factor. We are using it. I'm started making money out of this. That's great. I request you people to start sharing that to us. And you can also develop a kind of videos to, make it better. But I'll tell you one thing, like, when we find there is a scope to improve, we don't want to lag it. So we wanted to improve it better. Okay. So there is a 3 ways by which we can work together. Okay, how? Because why are we actually developing this particular video? That's very important thing, am I right? So I'll just give you why am I doing it. See, the multi-dimensional charts and the tools are generally not affordable to retail traders. That we understand it. Even for us also, doing all these things by taking a lot of paperwork, it's very difficult. So we need a kind of infrastructure. So it happens to be an expensive software like, Bloomberg, Reuters, you get it. No doubt about it, but it's very expensive. So we believe this video and the tool which are shown in this video are actually, is meant for retail traders who have that sort of expectations. So especially the intraday traders. So I really want you people to, to think about start working together, because when we start working together, we can actually do a lot of things. So we are learning, okay, why am I developing this particular video today? Why am I excited? When we start developing this video, we get different questions and we tend to answer these questions, and that will, fine tune our trading style also. And that will help our clients also in turn. So we are ready to work as a kind of open source to many people wanted to make it better. So we are learning by developing such videos. That's the fact, which benefits in fact everybody. So we get a lot of feedbacks, criticism, suggestions to improve, and testimonials in fact which appreciate our work. We are also like any human. We love to get some appreciations. So I appreciate criticism also, but that helps us to sharpen. But this is something which gives us a kind of satisfaction for the work we are doing it. So if you find it interesting, this exercise which will always motivate us to us. So kindly gives your thumbs up and start, sending few things to us. Okay, now I'll share you about 3 ways to work together. Number 1, first, it's time to post your feedback. Never mind to criticize us. If you find it something to improve, do tell me and I'll see how I can make it better, and we will definitely come back to provide solution to you. So we take it positively. And feel free to add suggestion. Let me tell you one thing. Don't think that you are a beginner. So today's beginner, tomorrow's expert. So we still feel you can add suggestions that helps you to think, and we will also comment it, and let's understand the market better. And if you really want to appreciate us, if you're happy, do like this video, and you can also subscribe it, and you can add few words. So it's time to go to your comment section to add a bit. That's the step 1 work, and we have 2 more steps. Don't rush. Okay, here. Tell us how you are using this particular tool. That's 2. So if you are watching this particular video, ensure that you actually copy the link and keep it somewhere, and come back to this particular thing and tell how you actually use this particular video under the comment section. That really helps us that people are using it. See, every video we get a lot of feedback, a lot of people comment about it. But one thing which is missing here is how people are using that particular thing. That we really want to know, because we can make it better. Because we are someone who's saying how to do a proper research to move forward. So if you are new, okay, if you see that this is something which is new, why not you can also develop a video like this. If you find this is very good, and if you find something a very different way to trade this, and if you see that is something consistently helps you to make money, why not you can develop a short video, but never ever create a false promise among people. So I request, there is no way to make 100% guaranteed money. We are just trying to make a better profitable trades when compared to loss making trade. So while you develop a video, also think other people, hard earned money also in your idea, mind, and think about it. So develop a video how people can make use of it for the betterment of their trading. So if you are someone who identified a new ways of using the above tools, I still appreciate, I request, why not sit? You don't need a separate wonderful tool. You can go to a screen recorder, download it, and just develop a video. I hope that can help a lot of people. And step 3, that's most important. we heard a lot of traders are happy using some of our tools in our Visted. But there is one thing we keep getting a lot of, the feedback is, Murugan, why not you can develop a video in Hindi? Why not you can develop a video in Marathi? Why not you can develop a video in Punjab? See, I really appreciate, I really wanted to develop videos in various languages, but we are not expert in linguistics, and we are not having a lot of resources here. So I request if you guys, if let's say you have a strong hold on your mother tongue. Let's say I'm good in Punjabi. Okay, now I'm a Punjabi. I'm good in understanding this also. Let's develop a bit. So you can use, develop this particular tool in your own mother tongue, and you can actually explain it. That helps you. Seriously, I'll tell you once again why to develop such videos. Let me tell you one thing. If you develop that particular video, that will enrich your knowledge by answering questions, because the moment you post your video, you will naturally get a lot of doubts from various people, and you can share it in your Facebook or somewhere, but people will naturally ask questions to you, and you become a kind of a center of hub. You start answering those questions. That will make you as a professional trader. But never ever claim that you start providing recommendations without SEBI license. That's pretty rough. There's a lot of legal things are there. So, but you can develop video as an informative thing, and you can never ever give a false commitment. That's something which I would request you to do it. Okay, number one. Number two, this helps because we get even calls from Assam, we get people from Sikkim. A lot of people started calling us. But one thing I find very difficult, because I'm unable to create videos in various language. See, I hope there could be some, in India we have a lot of other languages. We respect every language equally. So why not, if you find your language is missing here, you can actually develop it. So if you find your language is listed here, you can actually develop it. By developing, we are developing together. So we are growing together. So that's the big thing. So thanks for watching this video till this minute. So I appreciate your patience and everything. So for learning purpose, don't stop the video here itself. Keep watching this video once, twice, thrice, because watching some movies second time, third time, fourth time, you get a better understanding it. So I'm sure the one which you may be looking for a long time may be there in this particular video. Don't miss it. So start doing it, because this is a best ever trading tool ever I come across for intraday trading. Once again, yeah. So if you guys are really happy about watching this video, for any upcoming new videos, you can subscribe our channels, because through YouTube you can find a lot of our informative videos are there. Because in Facebook we post a very limited video, but if you find this video anywhere, I appreciate that you can get into it. So how do I go and comment about it? So you can actually go to our YouTube channel, which is YouTube. I hope you must be familiar with better than me in terms of youtube.com/EQSIS.com. So not .com, EQSIS/enter. So you will get this particular page come up. So if you scroll down, you can see various videos. So ensure that, and there are a lot of other videos, and you can also read the comment that a lot of people are asking about Hindi translation, especially this best intraday trading signals. We have a lot of other scanners and everything. So first see the video and start using the scanners, and keep it in your diary that you are the person responsible for developing that. So do that. That helps us. That is something which is big support. So by 3 ways we can actually work together. Thanks for your support, and thanks for watching till this minute. Thank you once again. You will be getting our next video soon, because we are developing one another very interesting tool again, that is slightly for a derivative traders. Thank you. Happy trading.